Hey guys, it's the Whale coming at you with my updated Ninja deck profile that I've been playing for the month of September. I've been loving ninjas, honestly. I think they're so fun and so interactive and just really versatile in what they can do. I absolutely love it. That being said, this is going to be another in-depth deck profile, so if you guys just care about the deck image, there's always a link description down below. Guys, just a quick side note, this is suicide prevention month, so please, I'm also going to leave a link down below if you guys need any type of help or anything like that. That's always going to be out there. There's always help. That's all I'm going to say, and let's just get straight into the deck profile. So we're running 3 of the best ninjas, 3 Ninja Grandmaster Hanzo. I promise you I didn't want to make an updated deck profile just because I got upgraded rarities. I love this deck, okay? So essentially on normal summon, Hanzo gets you a Ninjutsu spell or trap from your deck, or on flip or special summon, he gets you a ninja from your deck. Keep in mind, he's really easy to miss timing, so make sure he's the last thing that happens in the chain. Regardless, still your best ninja. It's basically your 1 card combo maker starter. 3 Mitsu. Mitsu is the best extender for ninjas. So Mitsu, it's a level 2 insect. Okay, essentially it's a monster negate. So if you control a ninja card or a face down monster, you can special summon this card from your hand, and if your opponent activates a monster effect, you can flip summon, or I'm sorry, flip a face down monster you control to face up defense, and then flip Mitsu to face down defense. And if it was a ninja monster that you flip face up, you negate that effect. It's essentially a monster negate. And for your 3rd best ninja in the deck, we're running 3 Tobari. He's my favorite ninja, by the way. Tobari is essentially your fusion. So during your opponent's main phase or battle phase, you can quick effect fusion monsters. Doesn't have to, you don't even have to use Tobari, but you can fusion monsters from your hand or field. So if you draw, let's just say a Geo or a green ninja or something like that, or a Baku that you want to get out of your hand, you can do that by using Tobari. Not only that, Tobari also has a discard effect that you can discard, pitch it from your hand to special summon a ninja monster from your hand. In special summon in face up defense or face down defense. Obviously, it's always going to be probably face up defense. So you can ditch this, special summon Hanzo grab Baku. There's a bunch of little different combos that you can do. I promise you, the more that you play the deck, the more you'll see the intricacies behind it, and it's just really good. These are the mandatory 3 ofs in my opinion. It will always be Tobari. Again, it's your interruption by being able to fuse during your opponent's turn, getting a Maizen or getting a Yagaramaru. And not only that, the turn that it's special or flip face up, it cannot be destroyed by battle or by card effect. So it's pretty good to just kind of set it and just kind of waiting on your opponent. My favorite thing, honestly, are the hands where I have Tobari and Mitsu, because I can set Tobari, special summon Mitsu, and face up defense, and then my opponent activates a monster effect. I use Mitsu's effect, flip Tobari's effect, then I fuse into a Yagaramaru or a Maizen to kind of just keep popping off. So that's it for the obligatory 3 ofs. I don't think this will change until we get new ninja supports for the 1 ofs, in my opinion, okay? Because honestly, ninjas are one of those decks that you can really change the ratios and just play however you want to play it. So for me personally, I am running the 1 green, the 1 Kagero, the 1 Baku, and the 1 Geo. I am going to explain my reasoning behind these. So number 1, let's use Green Ninja. Green Ninja to me is actually the best disruption, one of the best disruptions that ninjas have. So essentially, Green Ninja states that if you were to special summon a monster on your field face up, you can target one of them, special summon this card from your hand, and if you do, change that monster to face down defense position. That effect rarely ever comes up. I rarely ever use it, but the reason why this card is so good is because it's technically an interruption on your opponent's turn, just like Mitsu is. Meaning, if this card is sent from your hand or field to the graveyard, you can target one monster on the field and change it to face up attack position or face down defense position. So what you can do is, let's just say you have Green Ninja in hand and you have a Tobari on the field. During your opponent's turn, you can basically fuse using Tobari or Green Ninja, or any monsters, including a Green Ninja in your hand. Like, let's just say you open up Green Ninja and Baku, or Geo and Green Ninja. You normal summon Tobari opponent's turn. You can use these 2 in your hands to fusion summon. Yes, it's going to feel bad, but you at least have a form of interruption in Green Ninja, and then you can special summon out a Maizen, a Yagaramaru, and just kind of go from there. So to me, Green Ninja is the most versatile. If there was a card that I wanted to play at 2, it would be Green Ninja, because I love pulling out Green Ninja out of transformation. I'm sorry, duplication. I think it's so strong. But not only that, um, even having it in the hand is really really strong with Tobari. A lot of people like to run Geo at 2, because if you draw Geo, well, then it makes your Maizen plays a little weaker. But that's why Green Ninja's here. Even though Geo is technically better, he is more of a brick. Why is Geo better? Because when he is special summoned or normal summoned, you get to target 2 monsters on the field and book them face down. And if you booked your opponent's monsters, then they cannot change your battle position. So meaning that, in link-based decks like Salamangreats, Synchro-based decks, or Kashtira, of course, we all know it, right? This deck has an incredible matchup against those decks because they can't do anything. Geo also has a second effect that, honestly, to me, it barely ever pops up. But if you were to flip a monster, or if a monster were to get flipped face up, while this card's face up on the field, you get to target a card on the field and pop it. It's really helpful effect. It just never has come up for me personally. That being said, again, I would like to run Green Ninja at 2. I love this card. This card to me is the main interruption piece. Geo is technically better, but the fact that you basically have to special summon out through Maizen or Dancing Leaves or something like that, and if you draw it in hand, well, your only best way to get rid of it is through Tobari, and then this ends up in the graveyard, and then it just becomes a hassle. I don't know. I don't know. I love Geo. Don't get me wrong. It's a great card. I'm not bashing it, but just Green Ninja I feel is a lot more versatile and easier to use. We obviously have the one Kagero. Kagero is really good. Being on normal or special summon, you get to special summon a ninja monster from your hand or graveyard, non-targeting, so your opponent has to negate the effect if they want to negate it in face down defense position. And then this lets you help dodge imperm. So if you control, if there's a card that targets exactly one ninja monster you control, you can target that ninja monster, bounce it back to where it came from, special summon this down in defense. So it helps your Maizen dodge things, it helps your Hanzo dodge things, etc., etc. So it's pretty good. The only reason some people run this at 2 as well, like I said, that's what I love about ninjas. You get to basically play around with whatever ratios you like, and that is awesome. I love that about the deck. Kagero, some people play it at 2. I've even seen it at 3. Only reason why I don't even play it at 2 is because, to be honest with you, Kagero, like, you just need the 1. You need it in the graveyard. That's it. It's graveyard effect to dodge things. It's only a once per turn. You only need 1, and it's recyclable. The entire deck is recyclable. So that's why when I see people running multiple Geos, multiple Bakus, multiple Kageros, I'm like, yo, what? Again, I can understand Green Ninja. This is my personal favorite ninja in the deck. So, yeah. I mean, Kagero at 2 isn't bad. But remember, you want different typings, right? We're already technically running 4, 5 warriors, right? And we're running 3, 6, 7, 8 different types. We want different typings for our ninja fusion. So I don't want to I don't want to open up a hand where it's like a Kagero and a Green Ninja, because then I can't fuse into anything. So that is my own personal reasoning. That's why I run the top at 3 and these at singles. Geo, you draw it, well, that kind of sucks, but you do have Green Ninja, and you're running other disruption cards in the main deck. It's not the end of the world. So that is it for the main deck ninja monsters, guys. Again, that's just what I feel comfortable with. You guys are free to do whatever ratios you like. If you guys run different ratios, please share it with me. I am very active with ninjas, so let me know. Maybe you guys can change my mind. For the hand traps, I am running 3 Ash Blossom. Okay, something I want to say about the hand traps of the deck. This is tailored to my own personal locals, so I'm not saying that I'm going to go to a regional or a YCS. That can possibly change. It's just what is tailored to my own locals. There's a bunch of branded. Ash is really, really good. So yeah, and obviously Labyrinth is really big in my locals too. Ash, Labyrinth, branded, Kashtira, I mean, they're really big right now in my locals. And 3 Veiler. Okay. So, this spot right here, where the Veilers stand, have been Droll and Lockbirds, right? You guys can run Droll and Lockbirds. You guys can run Nibiru. You guys can run other cards like Super Polymerization. You guys can run any other card. You guys do not have to run Effect Veiler. Again, this is tailored to my own personal locals. I was running Nibiru. I was running Droll, right? So 3 Ash, 3 Droll. But Droll, in the end of the day, it either kills the deck or like kills goes my opponent's deck or it doesn't do anything. Again, there's a lot of Labyrinth, there's a lot of Branded in my locals, so against that, Jolt is just not that impactful. Second thing, Nibiru. Nibiru is another card that if I see it, I'm happy, and you know, but a lot of players don't even play into it anymore. Therefore, it kind of sucks. Um, you know, there's also things like I already said Draw, I already said Nibiru. So I'm just trying out the Veiler. By all means, I could probably take it out. It's not a problem, but I wanted to try a Veiler, and so far it's been doing pretty okay on like Dueling Book and on my locals. So I'm trying out like Veiler and stuff, like I said. But by all means, those 3 spots, it could be flex spots, it could be any hand traps you want. You don't need to run 3 Veiler if you guys don't want to. For the spells, I'm running 3 Ninjutsu Art Notebook of Mystery. This card is your best spell in the deck, essentially. So the reason, very little needs to be said about this card. It just generates you so much advantage. It's not even funny. So like turn 1, you can go into a fusion, and then there you go. You're ready. This is already live. During my opponent, like if I'm going first, so a lot of things that happened in the tournament was that I would normal summon Hanzo to use its effect. My opponent then drops Imperm. I chain Notebook of Mystery to either get a monster from my deck, or I can just get the duplication already from my deck. So it's almost like it doesn't even matter. They're down a transformation. They're down an Imperm. So it's just really crazy. The more I play this deck, the more I realize why people run this at 2. Because again, it's very recyclable, but I'm not running the field spell, so it's actually not as recyclable in my deck. And plus, this card is just really good in the grind game regardless. The one Iron Digger, this card's insane. I would run multiples, but the effects are only once per turn, so there's really no need. And again, it is recyclable through Notebook of Mystery. So honestly, I just see the use of 1. That's realistically it. That is it for the ninjutsu spells. So something I did want to state is that I was running Tenchi Kaime in my last profile. I think the card is really good because it helps you like pop back row, and like it helps you like if you're gonna flip your opponent's monsters face down, you could just, you know, flip the problematic monsters face down. And let's just say you did it with like a Book of Eclipse or something like that, and they're gonna get flipped up. It lets you just pop multiple cards of your opponent. That would be the only card I would want to run. If anything, I can probably even take out a Notebook of Mystery and add in a Village. That would be another one. Village is really good. The more I play with it, the more I like it, because not only it protects my monsters, it also protects my face-up ninjutsu spells and traps, which is really, really good. So yeah, there's really nothing else to say. Like I said, I would like to find room for a Tenchi Kaime, though. That's my favorite field spell. For the book cards or the interruptions, I am running 3 Book of Moon. No Book of Eclipse. So the reason why I don't like Book of Eclipse is because, again, Ash is the most popular hand trap in the game. And at my locals, personally, guys, because I did get comments in my last, why aren't you running Book of Eclipse? Book of Eclipse. Guys, the reason I'm not running Book of Eclipse is because, again, to restate it, in my locals, there's a bunch of Branded, there's a bunch of Labyrinth. Book of Eclipse doesn't do anything to them. They can still fuse face down. Labyrinth just laughs at it, whatever, doesn't matter. So honestly, just Book of Eclipse for me right now just isn't the way to go. I'm running other board breakers, and like I said, I'd rather just have Veiler, Nibiru, Droll, and Lockbird in my main. So no Book of Eclipse for me. Also, Book of Eclipse, the reason why Book of Eclipse is really good is because of Dancing Leaves. But let's be honest, when was the last time you really Dancing Leaved an opponent's face down monster like multiple times a duel? At least for me personally, I've done it probably like once, and that's because my opponent didn't read. And the rest of the times, I just do it on my own monster. So again, personally, 3 Book of Moon is just fine. I have the Geo, I have the Green Ninja. I'm not really freaking out about it. 3 Pot of Prosperity. I mean, it's pot. I think it's really good. I actually do think it's needed in this deck. You can run it without it, but hopefully your starting hand is playable. Because if your starting hand isn't playable, then you're kind of in a tough spot. And then for the broken one-ofs, 1 Instant Fusion, 1 Army. This right here is Yagaramaru. It's your level 5. So you can kind of use it as a disruption or an extender. It's just really good. I usually save Instant Fusion actually for the Boral Sword OTK if I can. But if not, well, I need to get to my Maizen, so why not? And then Army lets you get into your Hanzo and your green ninja. But let's be real, you're probably always going to just search out the Hanzo. For the traps, I am running 3 infinite impermanence. I mean, it's the best hand trap in the game, honestly, with triple tax being mained in a lot of decks. This card is just so fantastic, just being able to not proc triple tax. I know I'm running 3 Ash, 3 Veiler, and 3 Imperm, but it works for me. I genuinely like it. I feel this next card, I'm running 3 evenly match. So, ninjas need power cards. That's why you run power cards like Book of Eclipse. That's why you run power cards like Nibiru. That's why you run a lot of power cards. Evenly matched has won me so many games. And yes, I was running it at 2, but then I'm like, yo, like I want to see it as much as I can. Like I don't care. Even going first, to me like whatever. If I have it in my hand, I have it. If I don't, then whatever. But this card is just so good. This card has won me games against Labyrinth, that the full setup. This won me games against Branded, where it's like I shouldn't even be able to touch the board. You know what I mean? And again, the most you're gonna do, your power play is normal summoning Hanzo, searching for a ninjutsu spell or trap, and then passing to your opponent. Evenly match is so good. You're not gonna go for a OTK. Okay, so this is really really good. I recommend having a power card like this. These were actually I've been playing around with super polymerizations. Super polys are also really good at breaking boards and stuff like that, because my thing is like, oh, I can discard green ninja off a super poly and fuse, and then I can use green ninja's effect to like Book of Moon something on the field, right? So that's something that I've been playing around with. But the thing with super poly is just the fact that I do not own Garura. So that's just the basic fact. But evenly matched is just really good to deal with back row, and it's just really good. And for the ninjutsu spells, I am running 2 dancing leaves and the 1 ninjutsu art of duplication. I'm going to explain my ratios here. Ninjutsu art of dancing leaves, again, I'm probably just going to go into first turn Maizen anyway. Maizen will get me whatever the hell I need. Dancing leaves is a great interruption, essentially. Activate by targeting a ninja monster or a face down monster or a face down monster on the field. So you can Book of Moon your opponent's monster and then tribute it off. That's great, but honestly, I only ever see myself doing it like once. I actually wouldn't mind adding a third one, but I feel like if I add a third one, I would have to add in like one Book of Eclipse or something. And honestly, Book of Eclipse to me, again, I'd rather just add a Tenshi Kaime. I'm going to be completely honest with you, or a ninja village that lets you protect your spell and traps and your ninja monsters. So to be completely honest with you, I'm not entirely too sure. But right now, these are the ratios that are really, really helping out with me. And duplication is essentially technically your best ninjutsu art card, trap card. But the only thing is that you're only ever going to resolve 1 in a duel. I've never resolved 2, even when I ran it at 2. I don't understand why people run it at multiples. Yeah, you can see it more often. That means you don't have to search it off of Hanzo, which is pretty good. But, I mean, like I said, you're probably just going to go into Maizen Pass. So, I don't know. I'd rather have board breaker cards like evenly, and I'd rather just set up with things. I don't know. That at least is my my whole shtick behind it. I think these ratios are perfectly fine. Before I add in a third, if I even decide to add in a third, I want to add in maybe like a Book of Eclipse to make it a little bit more live, or a Tenshi Kaime. I just think Tenshi Kaime is so good. I love that card because of Maizen is just so broken. Being able to not only pop your opponent's face down monsters, but their back row as well, because this deck doesn't inherently have a back row popping card except Digger. And I try my best to save Digger for the OTK. Let's go to the extra deck. The extra deck I think is pretty basic, basic ninja extra deck. 3 Maizen, the Battle Ninja. It's your best fusion. 3 Yagoromaru. These are basically your interrupts. This gets Geo or a Tobari or whatever the case may be, and this basically pops a banishes a card your opponent controls. And 2 Saizo. Saizo's so good. And then I'm running the other ninja. Ultimate Great Ninja. Yeah, Ultimate Great Insect. This is really good. You essentially, it's a cheese thing. You basically equip Mitsu with it. You basically equip Digger to Mitsu, and then you contribute it off to special summon Great Insect. This has actually come up once with my god, with Dragon Link. That's how it came up with Dragon Link. My opponent had Boot Sector, and I was like, okay, that's fine. He had like a board. I stopped a little bit of it. He didn't have too many negates. I think he had like 1 or 2, which I impermed. and then he I basically normal summon Mitsuyo, equipped it with Digger, tribute it with Great Insect, Battle Phase, Dark Hold his entire board. So this card's staying in my main deck. I mean my extra deck. It's really good. The deck has a lot of flexibility, like a lot of flex spots, and that's why I say that like you can run Super Poly because the deck has a lot of flex spots. The one Blade Armor Ninja, it never comes up honestly. I wanted to add in an XYZ plus a Zeus, but again, you never XYZ in this deck. This deck is really hard to get 2 level 4s, because most of the time it's like, okay, cool, let's just say you have a Kagero and a Hanzo, probably one of them is going to be booked face down or something like that. So going into an XYZ is kind of rough. For the Lynx, Cross Sheep, and Boral Sword, these are the OTKs right here. It's really, really good OTK right here. I do it a lot. And then for the rest of the extra deck, one Linkaribo because Ibly. There's a player in my locals that run it. One Nightmare Phoenix, and the one Underworld Goddess of the Closed World. That is it for the extra deck. Very little that I've changed, that I would change honestly about it. So that is it for the extra deck. And then for my side deck, again, the side deck is where I feel like ninjas shine, right? It's like the art form for ninjas, because you can do whatever the heck you want, and you can make it work. So let's go through it. 3 Contact C. This card's really crazy against Branded, against Kashira. This card's just really good in general, I think. I think it does deserve the side. You can also side Nibiru's, you can side Droll and Lockbirds, whatever you want. But Contact C is really, really good. I am running the one Pank and the one Tark Smorg. I'm going to put this one up top real quick. That is it for the monsters. I'm going to go back as to why we play Dark Smorg in the side deck. For those throwback Yu-Gi-Oh players. We are running 3 Solemn Judgments. Yeah, I know. But 3 Solemn Judgments, okay? 3 Anti-Spells, and the 1 transformation, the Ninjutsu Art of Transformation. So if you guys don't remember how it is, like back how Yu-Gi-Oh was back in the day when you used to play OG ninjas, you would normal summon Hanzo, you'll search out this card, you'll set it, and then you'll set anti-spell, and then during your opponent's draw phase or standby phase, you'd flip it, tribute summon Hanzo, bring out Dark Smorg, and then you would flip anti-spell. This would make it that your opponent cannot activate any spell or traps. So it's really, really good. And it's a gimmick that comes up a lot, by the way. So there's a runic sprite player in my deck and my locals, and game 2 I won game 1, game 2 no, he won game 1, game 2 I win. I go first, and I popped this on him during his standby phase, and he just scooped immediately. He couldn't do anything, because Dark Smorg sets that you my god, what does it say? Your opponent cannot set cards, and then anti-spell says that your opponent has to set cards before activating them, so they can't activate any card, any like spoiler traps, so they're basically locked into monsters. It's actually pretty crazy. And then for the spells, I'm running the 1 Harpy's Feather and the 2 Cosmic Cyclones just for back row, because again, this deck doesn't really have back row hate, because it doesn't have Tenchi Kaime. But enough about that card. Guys, that is it for the deck profile. Let me know what you guys think, and please leave a like and a comment. Anyway, Puzzle out.